After the success of Sane Trilogy and Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled, the time has come for our famed marsupial, the chance to step back into the spotlight with a new game. No more remakes, no more remasters. Fans have waited a long time for not just a true sequel, but an original title. The last game to have come out before the remakes was Crash Nitro Kart 2, but we don't talk about the mobile games. With the new Crash 4 finally out, we must ask ourselves whether bringing the Bandicoot back is worth it. And so, we had our own Crash superfan, Ty, try to answer that question. Welcome to MojoPlays, and this is Ty's review of Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time.
Stay away from my robot!
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. In case you didn't finish Crash Bandicoot Warped, the third game in the series, our heroes used the Time Twister machine to banish Dr. Cortex, Uka Uka, and Dr. Entropy to the prehistoric ages. After being gone for quite some time, the Doctors have somehow managed to survive the harsh world of dinosaurs and have used Uka Uka to create a dimensional rift. Now, Crash and Coco must retrieve the 4 quantum masks in order to restore the timelines.
We have to go through, find my siblings, and fix this before some putz with a big evil plan and a bigger ego does something monumentally stupid!
Upon starting the campaign, I was astonished at the visual fidelity on display. Given how many changes Crash and company have gone through with each new game, developer Toys for Bob has managed to come up with a unique aesthetic that makes the game look like a Crash game. Even back in the days of polygons, Crash Bandicoot's animations were always expressive and brought personality to the levels. This piece of the Bandicoot's charm has been carried over and significantly amplified up as levels are brimming with life. Just take a look at Offbeat, my favorite level in the whole game. Seeing enemies doing things in the background and marveling at sights like the volcano in the opening level told me one thing: Crash was in good hands. It's clear that the development team holds a massive love for the franchise, and it doesn't stop at just visuals. By the way, all the footage you're seeing was captured off a PS4 Pro.
No! Yes! The crates are meant to be broken! They weren't placed as an impenetrable barrier!
Throughout Crash 4, players will find a plethora of Easter eggs harkening back to the older titles and even Spyro and the Skylanders franchises. For example, I was able to find a handful just from the start of the game, and there's plenty more to be found throughout. I won't spoil any here, but they had me grinning like a madman. I also want to commend the writing here. It can be pretty hard writing comedy into video games without making things feel obnoxious, especially in games that appeal to kids. There were several moments where the game genuinely made me laugh, the most notable being moments where villains would attempt to throw shade at Crash and Coco. If I had to compare the quality to any previous game, I'd say it's on par with Crash Twinsanity, which featured plenty of slapstick, breaks in the fourth wall, and even a few cheeky innuendos.
Well, the past few years have kind of been slow. Wrath of Cortex didn't do as well as we'd hoped, and... Fish?
Of course, everything that's been said is arguably subjective. How does the game play? Well, the controls are certainly not the same as other Crash games. Trust me, I'm coming hot off of Cortex Strikes Back, Warped, and Wrath of Cortex. Crash and Coco feel much more floaty rather than awkward yo-yos like in previous titles. This, in turn, complements the game's supposed sharp difficulty, as it allows you a bit more time to connect your jumps at the last minute. It may take some time to get used to though, if you're more familiar with past games and how they control. This leniency on precision allows the mask powers, Crash 4's gimmick, to shine through. As you journey across dimensions, you'll run into segments that see you phase objects in and out of existence, slow time, alter gravity, or turn into a lethal tornado a la Taz the Tasmanian Devil. These masks may pop up within the same level too, sometimes while you're in the middle of hazards that could insta-kill you. Yeah, it's a load of bull at times, but it's interesting to see how the game wants you to toy with the mechanics of each power. If you're observant enough, you may even figure out how to reach a hidden area using the powers. While we're on the subject of difficulty, it's worth mentioning that Crash 4 is equally as hard as, if not harder than, the first Crash Bandicoot. The first entry in the franchise featured obstacles that were incredibly difficult to navigate and may have felt cheap due to poor depth perception or awkward timing. Crash 4, on the other hand, feels slightly more fair thanks to the controls, but doesn't let up. And that works for and against the game. To elaborate, Crash 4 is constantly challenging you and demands you know what you're doing. It does this partially through its bonus levels, which previous games would reserve for shorter courses that were a little less intense than the courses they could be found in. They were there to give you more time to think before going back into the fray and help you farm for additional Wumpa Fruit or lives. In here, you'll need to work harder to earn the extra goodies. Know how to control the mask powers, and be ready to make your thumbs jump between buttons. Yeah, it's easier said than done, which makes it tough to recommend to those not in tune with Crash Bandicoot's past games. As someone who's been playing the games for over 20 years, even I found the last third of the game to be pretty frustrating given how infrequent checkpoint crates were. I'm pretty confident in saying this might be the hardest Crash game in the series, and that's both good and bad. I'd be more than willing to overlook this if the game didn't task you with finding tapes that can only be collected by not dying once through a portion of specific levels. It also doesn't help that time relics make their return as well, and some of these courses aren't exactly built for attempting to get platinum grade relics. This isn't to say I didn't have fun playing this game. Crash 4 gave me plenty of reasons to go back and replay levels. Each level holds 20 gems for you to collect, 6 for the normal version and 6 for the inverted version. Inverted, by the way, was an excellent idea to give the game's 43 levels more replayability. You may simply experience a level in a different art style or have to spin every so often to reveal things in your vicinity. Unfortunately, I feel like more could have been done with the inverted mode to make things more challenging. Reverse controls, flip the screen, enable timed effects, give ultimate power to a mask and let them alter the stage by adding more explosives, phasing platforms, or moments where time slows down. I don't mind what's already there, but I feel like more could have been done to really bring out inverted mode's potential. Another addition I liked was the multiple playable characters, a concept that was previously explored in Crash to Insanity. On top of Crash and Coco, players will take control of Dr. Cortex, Tawna, and Dingodile in their own levels that present the story from their perspective. Each character's moveset is a blast to use too, whether you're getting around with Tawna's grappling hook or blockifying enemies with Cortex's ray guns. I only wish that there were a few more of these moments to go around. Lastly, I want to talk about trophies and achievements. Crash 4 is very much a game that completionists should be cautious of, as you'll have to get everything in the game. And I mean everything. This was originally understandable for a Crash game and not too different from the original trilogy's trophy lists. Unfortunately, what kills the encouragement to pop the Platinum Trophy is that one trophy demands you earn every insanely perfect relic, which can only be earned by completing every level without dying once. Again, I was fuming throughout the last third of the game, so if you still want to platinum this, be prepared. It's going to be hard enough trying to get all of the platinum time relics, which is also a trophy and achievement. Overall, Crash 4 is an excellent addition to the franchise and shows that Crash is back in the limelight. It boasts a lot of personality with its animation and art, features a handful of mechanics that not only make the game more interesting, but add to the world, and gives you plenty more reasons to go back and improve your skills or experience levels in a new way. It's just upsetting that it goes overboard with its aim to be hard in the last third of the campaign. The insanely perfect relics and platinum time relics further deterred my desire to fully 106% the game, let alone pop the platinum trophy. Even so, I still think it's a fantastic game and one that Crash fans, casual and hardcore, will adore. Just be prepared to lose a little bit of your sanity in the process.
Don't worry, we have a thing where we fight, he loses. It's a well-established dynamic.
Thanks for watching our review. Let us know what you think down in the comments.